San Juan Regional Medical Center, your community hospital with a rich heritage that dates back to before New Mexico was a state. We've been improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910. As a nonprofit hospital, San Juan Regional Medical Center is a values-driven organization. We strive to deliver on our mission to personalize health care and create vitality and enthusiasm in healing. We are here for you when you need us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services. .825 KSJE. You're listening to the Scott Michlin Morning Program. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. Greetings to our viewers who are watching us today on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. Our weather window takes us today to Mad River Valley, Vermont. Covered bridge and everything. It is about 5 degrees in Vermont this morning, and they have plenty of snow to enjoy. And it is cold there. It is not so cold here, but we are expecting a sunny day here in San Juan County today. Our weather forecast, mostly sunny, 44 for a high in Farmington today, partly cloudy tonight with a low of 23. Then maybe a chance of a rain shower for the next several days. It's really a slight chance, so maybe more chances for rain and snow, maybe in the upper elevations. 49 for a high tomorrow and Thursday, 53 on Friday. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 30s. Outside here in Farmington, it's 17 degrees at San Juan College with winds out of the east at about 6 miles per hour. I'm Scott Michlin, and again, my guests on the program this morning from the Farmington Chamber of Commerce. We've been talking with Jamie Church, the new president and CEO. She is here in her official capacity. Once again, good morning.
Good morning.
And for folks who were watching our first segment, they saw us talking about the arrival of the one and only Adam Kinney, who is now joining us here in the studio, the chairman of the board of the Chamber of Commerce. Adam, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for making it in.
Absolutely.
Glad you came over.
Proud to be here.
Always great to have you here as chairman of the board. And I must say again, I was impressed, as I always am when you speak, but even more so when the things you said at the Farmington Chamber banquet recently about our community and the business community and how much we care for each other. And again, I thought it was well done, as it was the year before when you said it. Similar things the year before.
Right. Well, so, thank you.
You're welcome. So we were talking a little bit about some events coming up at the chamber, and of course, you work with the board.
That's
and
right.
They just hired you, so
you
know.
So it was a tough choice.
Was it?
It was.
I heard the comments, and she thought she was a shoo-in. It was a tough choice.
Oh,
not true.
I see how that goes.
Not true,
right. But we were just talking about the health fair, very successful event, and there's an event coming up later on this month, not too far from where we are sitting at San Juan College.
Right.
Your annual monthly business after hours.
That's right. And so San Juan College is hosting the business after hours, and if listeners don't know what that is, it's just an opportunity for our members, chamber members, to host an event, and then we market that through the chamber, and it's a great time to network, but also to bring people into your business to see what you're doing and share information. So San Juan College, of course, is a great partner and has hosted many events on campus, but this particular one will be it's at the School of Energy, and it's on the 27th. In my opinion, the business after hours are one of those key membership values that you get by joining the chamber as a member, because it's such a great way and opportunity to bring people into what you're doing and share what your business is. So we only do one a month too, so it's kind of like that special thing, and we're booked out pretty much for the whole year.
I was just going to say, you have a waiting list, I think, of folks who would like to host these things because they're so successful and bring in such a great variety of folks.
Exactly. And they happen after hours. That's why they're called business after hours. So it's the 27th, and it starts at 5 and goes to 7.
Okay.
And we always give the hosting organization or the hosting business an opportunity to speak at that too and talk about what they're doing, and maybe if they have a new program going on or a new product or service, or they just want to, maybe they've done a remodel, or they've brought in new staff or something like that, and they want to introduce those staff to the other chamber members. So it's a lot of great networking goes on there.
Right. And again, this will be held over at the School of Energy in one of the rooms over there.
Yes.
So the folks are putting on their calendars, that's where they should go, and I know we'll be over there. And
well, I think it's important to say as well, even if you're not a chamber member, this is an opportunity to get in there and see what we're about, network, and meet other chamber members. put your toe in the water, so to speak, and see if the chamber has something for you, which we're sitting here saying we do. We have something for everyone. But
Right.
this gives you a great opportunity to experience a networking event, have fun, learn about local businesses, and go from there. So just grow yourself and your business. It's a neat way to introduce yourself to the chamber if you haven't been to a chamber event before.
Very true. And I know a lot about it. A lot about business is all networking and making those connections and talking to people about your business. And so this is a great opportunity to do that. So
Right, exactly.
we'll always look forward to, I know, hosting it. I know KSJE's been invited to take part a little bit in it next week, but the week after.
27th.
27th. Thank you.
Well, it's weird because, February is a short month.
It's a weird
so
month. It is a weird month, and it's just zooming by. That's true.
Exactly. So anyway, the Wednesday, the 27th.
Okay. Very
Last
good.
Wednesday of the month.
The last Wednesday of the month. Is it Wednesday? Is it on Wednesday? Now I'm going to have to look.
Oh,
Thursday.
No, it was Thursday, and they moved it to Wednesday.
Now we're on Wednesday, the 27th. That is
Yes.
correct, everybody.
Yes.
Jamie was right all along.
was
Why
right.
She passed the test.
Why do I doubt her? I don't know. I haven't learned my lesson. But anyway, a great event.
Yes.
There's another event tomorrow that's not necessarily a chamber event, but it's one
Not-
that you have
right.
been involved with for
Right.
a number of years, since its very beginnings.
Yes, that's very beginnings. And so tomorrow is the Focus on Farmington Coffee. And this month it's being hosted by the Boys and Girls Club of Farmington. And so that is a free coffee. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. That's my great...
That's your Scrabble board.
I know.
Is that yours?
And
Yeah.
it is my Scrabble
And your
board.
coffee
and
mug?
my pool balls. I know.
Okay.
So anyway, my billiard.
We'll be playing billiards tomorrow at the
No,
Boys and Girls Club?
I just have to take things from around my house and try
Okay.
to make signs and stuff and
Gotcha.
good posts. So anyway, the coffee is at the Farmington Boys and Girls Club. It's at 8 a.m. And again, this is a free coffee, and we've been doing this for close to almost 2 years now, with the point of this being to welcome new people who are new to the area. But it also can just be people that you've just met. Maybe they've moved into your neighborhood. Maybe they're new in your business. They've just been hired, and they're really trying to get to know people. Or maybe they're in kind of a new transition time of life. They've just retired, so they aren't working anymore. Their schedules changed. They're trying to find people to connect with and things to do. So it's a wide variety of people. But it's a very positive time, and we just talk about what's going on in the area, how you can get connected, what's going on at the Boys and Girls Club. Do they need volunteers? Of course, they have their big event coming up with the Mayor's Ball.
That's right.
So this will be an opportunity for them to talk about that. And we move the location every month, which is why we have the Facebook page, and we ask you to like the Facebook page, Focus on Farmington Coffee, because that's where I post where the coffee is going to be every month, and it does change location.
Right.
It is always on a Wednesday, sometimes the second, sometimes the third Wednesday, depending on what's going on in the month. And it's always free, and it is always from 8 to 9 a.m.
There you go. And so tomorrow we'll be at the Boys and Girls Club of
And
Farmington.
they're all very excited. Day before Valentine's, and they're ready. So
I bet.
I've ordered the coffee. I'll be picking it up at 7:30 in the morning and getting over there and setting up. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is part of the hashtag Live Farmington committee that you've
right.
been on, and this is kind of a Convention and Visitors Bureau initiative, but it all
Right.
kind of dovetails in nicely
does.
with the work of the Chamber,
It
too.
does. Well, because the Chamber, again, is about building business community and connecting community to business and business to community. And we are trying to highlight Farmington as a place that's a great place to live, but obviously to work. And so that really ties in with the Chamber and what the mission of the Chamber is, to advocate and for business, local business, and the business owners. And of course, most of those business owners, they have families that are living here, going to school here, different things. So we want to look at that whole, the whole picture. And so I do think it ties in very well with the work of the Chamber. So.
Very good. We have a shout out from Delbert Anderson, who's enjoying and making a little bit. He's kind of a poet. He's in addition to being a musician on our Facebook page. So thank you, Delbert. Good to hear from you this morning. We also had a message from Missouri. I think we had a viewer
Really?
watching
They would like to come to my
in Missouri.
coffee
Maybe a bit of a commute to get here to tomorrow, but you never know.
Cold in Missouri. They want a hot cup of coffee.
They will want hot coffee. That's
That's right.
Traveling for.
That is
Yes.
very, very true. But thinking of business, and speaking of business, bringing it to another event that the Chamber was involved with, the ribbon cutting at the Big Idea,
Yes.
just last week here at San Juan College, this brand new makerspace.
Yes. And that was really interesting because I I didn't really know what it was. So to get to come to the ribbon cutting, and then of course it was great because Dr. Pendergrass spoke, and T. Greg Marion, and also the representative from Raytheon, and because they were very supportive of the project, and seeing all the equipment, and that was really an interesting ribbon cutting. We were so glad to be a part of it, but you know, I encourage any of your listeners to find out more about it, because it is a space that anybody can use. Those once you learn how to use some of the machinery.
But it's such a loose. They give you some training.
Right. They give you some training. But a lot of us have ideas. And T. Greg really addressed that, saying that all of his life he's felt like as an inventor. He thinks of himself as an inventor. And I think a lot of us sit around and go, oh my gosh, I have a great idea, or I have a really neat thing I could make. But we don't maybe necessarily have the equipment or the space or somebody kind of guiding us through how to use that equipment and do those things. So I just think it's great innovation, center of innovation so it was really inspiring.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah. Adam, what are you ready to invent?
Well, I just think with that, it's another part of the chamber. If you have an idea or if you need help, reach out to the chamber, and our staff is phenomenal. Our membership, just like that. If you need something, we're there to help, and you're not out there alone.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest thing as chamber we're really trying to focus in on, is how we can help our membership, but how can we help our community? We have some amazing things going on in Farmington right now. Our leadership is very strong, very focused in keeping Farmington growing, and we want to play in that same space, and we want to help out. And that was part of my message, is no matter what happens, good. You know, good comes from it, and you have to look at it that way, because it's easy to go in our shell, so to speak, and say it'll be weather the storm, but we want to say good and challenge it and come out of our shell and enjoy every day for every day what it is.
Very true. And again, all the economic development folks tell me it is a lot easier to help the businesses that are already in a community rather than maybe attracting new businesses. That's always great too, but you really don't want to forget about the existing businesses and helping them to maybe thrive and grow and maybe expand into other lines of business. And this new makerspace is, I think, a great investment in the community, because as a business owner, if I were a business owner, which I'm not, but if I were, I wouldn't have to invest in thousands and thousands of dollars of equipment. I could try it out here at the space, see if that's what I need, and then maybe make my investment if I want it of all my own.
Exactly. And I think too, when you're talking about the existing businesses, and with the chamber, we have so many resources, and we do our lunch and learns, which are typically topics that are beneficial to business owners or their employees. We have a lot of resources down at the chamber that are actually there if you come visit us at the downtown center, but are also available online. We're willing to work with you and helping you to, if you're running to run some ads, or working in helping you to design those. So there are a lot of tools, and even if it's just connecting you with other chamber members that can help you with what you're trying to do. So if you're looking for somebody to help you with accounting, you're maybe a new business, and the reason I say that is because I've been spending lots of time getting familiar with QuickBooks, but so I understand now this need for
there you
accountants.
go. So next to a banker, that's appropriate.
Banker,
yes.
But I mean, it could just be anything where you're trying to start and you're looking for those people. And so the chamber is just a great place of referring members and helping you get connected, so that when you start that business and you make that investment, that you're going to get a good return on that investment, and we want you to be successful. So,
sure.
Yeah.
And that is part of what the chamber has been doing and seeks to do and will be doing in the future. And I think, Adam, you mentioned that about, supporting local businesses, whether they're big or small. And that's also part of your membership. You have everything from mom and pop stores to big box stores to chains to regional chains to everything, right?
That's right.
I mean, and room for more.
And we have everything from just one sole proprietors, people that have just started their own small business, individual members, all the way up to, you said, some of the larger Lowe's is one of our members. So all the way.
Right.
And again, it is about that local, trying to shop local, support your local businesses, and come together as a community of businesses so that we can know what the issues are, how do we support you, what's changing, just the way businesses market. That's changing over the years. So how do we respond to that? And so we want to hear back from the businesses as well. If they have ideas they'd like to see the chamber implement that could help them, we want to have some feedback as well. So it's definitely a two-way conversation.
And I think that's the nice part of where we're at right now is we want to hear from our members. What do you need? If it's customer service training, which is a big focus of ours, or if it's marketing and those things, and then we'll come out and go out and find those people to help us and help our businesses succeed. But if we don't hear from it, it's a squeaky wheel theory.
That's right.
Gets the oil, and so we want to hear from our members and what do they need help with, and how can we help them succeed as a business partner. I think it's very important in a focus that we're going to have going forward.
Very true. And I think the business world is changing. I mean, we talk about how media is changing, and here we are at a visual radio station, for heaven's sakes. But banking's changing. I think other businesses is changing. Retail is changing, and there's a lot of things that business owners need to be aware of, right? When they're going into business and want to stay in business, to kind of react to some of these changes in demand for their services.
Well, and things are not only changing, they change so rapidly
Right.
that you just begin to feel that you have it figured out, and then something's changed.
No,
Or
you
there's
don't.
a new way of doing something, or there's a new app or a new something. And so I think as best that we can, as the chamber, we are going to try to stay up on what these things are and offer that information out, either through our e-newsletter or through our lunch and learns, or maybe having a special seminar on something, or just depends on what the issue is. How can we help, and how can we help get this information and connect you to the experts who know? Social media marketing is one of those examples where I took a social media marketing class, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. It's already so different. If I went back and took that same class today, it's changed already. The way that you can do the analytics, the algorithms, how do you get your post to have engagement? That's an ongoing process, and it takes time to keep up on all of that. And that's just one example.
Sure.
So if you're
Right.
trying to run a business and you're also trying to keep up with all this other stuff going on, it's great to have a resource to help you with that.
Very true. And again, if someone wants to get really involved, you have committees
Yes.
at the Farmington Chamber of Commerce that folks can join if they're part of a chamber business or chamber member, right?
Exactly. We have our health and wellness, which we mentioned just sponsored the health fair. And then we also have our education committee that is very involved with the educational issues and topics that are coming up in our area. And then we have our special events and promotions committee that does some of our fundraising events that we do, the Music on the Rocks event, Chile in October. We have our newly looking at sort of retirement community for Farmington, and how do we look at our area as possibly an area where people that are retired would like to relocate to. So
Yeah, please
all those
hurry up on that. The
committees-
clock is ticking for some of us, so please see what you can do about that.
It's ticking for me.
You just got here. What are you talking about?
So anyway, I think
Well, we
unless-
have
Adam, you had her sign that
The red
lifetime
coats,
contract.
yes.
Did you
I
not?
did, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
thank you for mentioning the
And
red
the red
coats.
coats,
yeah,
right?
Red
our
Coats, your ambassadors, FYP, the Farmington Young Professionals
Yes.
are going, and all committees. So it is a great time. You can get involved in whatever your interests are, and that's why those committees exist. We talk about the squeaky wheel getting the oil. The retirement came from that. I mean, we were approached by a group, and it said, this is a focus for Farmington. This is something that's needed. We presented it to our board, and they supported it and said, yes, we definitely want to be a part of it because it's going to be the future for Farmington. So just like that, something from an idea can start a committee and get action plans and things in place to help better Farmington.
Right. And again, as part of this, and we've talked a little bit about how the city is taking the initiative in a number of different ways, and the chamber can work alongside, even though you're not part of the city.
Right.
But you do work
Yes.
hand in hand, and many times on city projects and city initiatives and spreading the word about what the city's trying to do, and vice versa. I think it's a really great relationship.
Absolutely. So, and that's been a great relationship for a number of years, and I feel very lucky because I've been reading a lot of things about other chambers in other areas that don't necessarily have that kind of a great relationship, not only with their city, but with maybe their economic development group. And we all, as you had with Tanya when we were talking about the Convention and Visitors Bureau and how they work with the chamber and how we work with the city and how we all work with Four Corners Economic Development. And I think we're very lucky that we have these strong leaders in place and that we all are wanting the same thing, and that is to grow Farmington, to make Farmington the place where everybody wants to come to live and to work and to play. And so some of these things we're implementing now or working on now, we'll see results down the road, and that's how things, when they're new, sometimes it takes years to see the development of them. But the chambers, I mean, we work very closely with the city.
Right.
So it's a good relationship.
And that is important. Adam, I imagine from your perspective, that's really important, right, to have good partners in the community when you're part of a chamber of commerce and being able to work with city government and vice versa.
Right. And one of my personal sayings is take care of the community takes care of you. And that could spill over into the chamber. Without our partnerships, I mean, we're at war with everyone else. And as you hear about these other chambers and we read about them, they're fighting over the same piece of pie, if you will. And we all here in Farmington have that common goal. And so we share our pie. And it's very nice to have and work to the betterment of Farmington, and which is our common goal. And when that happens, great things are coming, and I truly believe that. We're excited at the chamber, opportunities coming up in the city. It's going to be difficult times, but as a city, I think we roll up our sleeves and say good, and let's attack it as a community, and we'll only come out at the other end better. I do believe that.
And I think it's important because I think sometimes with the changes that people can see maybe on the horizon, it is maybe a little scary for some folks because it is a little uncertain, uncharted waters. And if I own a business, you know, how do I ensure my business's success? And again, the idea would be that sometimes you got to spend money to make money. And join the chamber and talk to others that are maybe in the same boat and talk about some of the strategies and things that people are bringing to the table to learn about some of these changes that are coming.
Well, then I think just you talked about, you know, joining the chamber, and once you make that initial investment in joining the chamber, then you have these options. You can become a Red Coat ambassador. You can attend a business after hours or host a business after hours. You can sponsor the monthly lunch and learn. You can join a committee. All of a sudden, you have this opportunity to start talking about your business and what you do to all of these different groups. And I think that is just in this economy, this kind of a personal relationship and referral and having that opportunity to actually talk to people about what your business is doing and the opportunity to market to other businesses. That's very, very valuable. And so there's that initial chamber membership, but then the what you get for that is quite impressive. And I think if you take advantage of all the membership opportunities and all of those networking opportunities, it will pay off for you.
Absolutely. I just wanted to add, I think the possibilities are endless, and I tell this story all the time, but when we started FYP, was a small group of us, and we wanted a way to get into community giving and support. FYP gave us that platform to where maybe some of the other agencies or nonprofits or groups didn't fit what we were looking for in that young professional. So FYP was created. And I joke all along, but you can go from being an FYP member to the mayor of Farmington. And as Nate Huckett is a great example of it. And he started his community, and he'll say that through FYP, through one of our committees in the Farmington Chamber. And so
I think folks are always surprised that the mayor didn't grow up in Farmington, because it seems like he's
Farmington, though.
He's so Farmington, through and through. But he's really gotten involved and
it's his home
professional career. So that's kind of how that worked through FYP.
And so just a committee being able to come in and help and give, that just moved so many roadblocks out of his way and opened up the doors for possibilities, and he saw this was the road he wanted to take.
Right. By the way, I'll put a plug in. The mayor is my guest this Friday on the show. He will be here talking about probably about FYP and other things too.
We'll bring it up.
But yeah, we will definitely ask him about that. But he's coming up on Friday's show because I know a lot going on with the city, so another great opportunity to touch base with him. And so for the two of you, again, as things move forward, I know, Jamie, you're looking at new, maybe tweaking some things at the chamber and bringing some new things to the table, perhaps?
Right. Well, and I think that's always when you have a new person come into a role, they bring in kind of some new ideas or they see things in a different way. And even with my prior position at Child Haven, I knew after 12 years when I left, as hard as that was, when they brought in the new development director, she was going to have great new ideas. She has different talents and gifts than I did, and so she's able to bring something new to the table. And as we mentioned earlier, Audra just did such a fantastic job and left things in such a great in a great way. But sometimes when you come in and you go, well, you know what? Why are we doing it that way? Let's try it this way. And it's just sometimes seeing things in a new light.
Of course, right.
So there's a couple things we're going to tweak, and we are always, as we mentioned, always wanting that feedback. Is there something we need to bring into our membership options, or those values that our members have invested in us and they want to see us offer this to them? Let us know about it. Bring it up to us. Let's see what we can do. So I think we're all open to hearing those ideas. We want to hear back from our members.
Right. And again, if you're a member, you have that right to
yes.
Tell Jamie what you think.
Yes, you can. Come on down to the office. I always have coffee going, and I'll sit and have a cup of coffee with you, and we'll talk about it.
That's one big suggestion box we have to
That's right. There you go. And a big pot of coffee, too.
Oh, that's right. But we do really want to hear. And so just a couple things, not anything huge at this point, but yeah, want to make sure that we're recognizing all of our members and giving them options. So,
well, and as a board president, I'm very thankful for that, because oftentimes we get in that same rut and that same thing. Why do you do this? Well, it's always been done that way. And as we heard about social media and technology and the change and we're doing it, it gives us an opportunity to relook at things and assess it. Is this the right way? Is there a better way to do it? Do we need this? Can we improve on this? And so we're really looking forward to the next couple months as Jamie gets more ingrained in there and learning QuickBooks of all the possibilities that we can have. But we have our executive committee this afternoon, and the agenda used to be 3 or 4 items, and we'd review the financials, and now we have an agenda of maybe 12 items.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the different things. And some, I mean, it's really good to talk about. And we want, because as a board, and this is one of the most involved boards I've ever been a part of, everyone truly cares, and they really want to make sure, and they're thoughtful, very vocal, and we're not afraid to push back and say, well, why are we doing it this way, or why are we spinning here, or whatever. And so really supportive of the board. We have a very strong board, and there again, there's opportunities to serve. We just elected 5 or 6 new board members.
Well,
5.
6.
And
right.
Because then I came off the board, obviously.
Right,
so
there's
there
an
were
opening.
actually 6.
That's right.
So,
So that's
6 new board members, a new CEO, president, a lot of change at the chamber. And so it presents itself a great opportunity to look at things and reassess where we're at.
Very good. Well, exciting times.
Yes.
Right? Big things to come, I'm sure.
Yes.
And we're excited for both of you, and thanks for coming in to
Well,
share it all
thank
with
you.
us
Thanks
and
for
our
having us.
listeners.
Beautiful new setup. Love
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
It. Well, it's a little intimidating seeing myself
I know,
on
I
the
don't
screen.
even like to look.
We
I'll
got
say hi,
that.
Mom.
There you are. I bet she's watching.
Mom.
I bet she's watching. But it's great to have you here, and we couldn't do it without the community just like you. And so we feel the same way, that we have a real great community that supports the work that we're doing as they do the work of the chamber, and so that's why we're here, and to bring this opportunity to folks throughout our community. So thank you both for being here. We will
Thanks.
see you at the
Coffee tomorrow. And then the business after hours on the 27th here
Which I've
on
learned is
San
a
Juan College.
Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday at 5.
5 o'clock.
So, and as Adam said, come even if you're not a chamber member. It's a great opportunity to get to see what that's all about.
Very
Chamber
true.
membership. So,
All right. We'll see you there.
great. Thank you.
Thank you both very much.
Bye.
My guest this morning from the Farmington Chamber of Commerce right here on KSJE, and I'll be back with more in just a moment.